Alright.
Alright,
Whenever you're ready.
I'm ready.
Oh,
Are you ready, kids?
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain. I can't hear you. Aye, aye. Okay. So
where did that come from?
So here we have Algonquin's
Lounge
Smash
room.
Monthly, not Smash Monthly,
What
but
are you talking about? Alright.
it's Let's Game Ottawa Mario Edition.
Yes, it's Let's Game Ottawa 96, Super Mario 64. We were emulating Mario 64 because I thought it would be a lot easier than, bringing N64 and...
Yeah, it was okay actually. It was an actual okay emulation.
And we used a controller. We used Logitech.
Yeah, the problem is that
300.
The controller stick was made for like more 16 8-bit games.
Yeah.
Whereas the N64 was made with a more easier thing. Like the Z button was right below the controller stick, not like to the side.
Yeah. I just find with that controller, like it's not as precise as I'd like. I can see why Nintendo would want like a proper like stick rather than like a pad, like the PlayStation 3 DualShock pad.
I agree with you exactly. When I press up, I'm going to the left. When I push left, I'm going to...
But it was the same thing with like platformers. Like for me, when I went to play a platformer on the PlayStation 3 or playing it, like anything that was like Spyro, after playing Mario 64, I'm like, wow, these controls aren't quite as precise as Mario 64 with the metal, the piece of plastic.
Yeah.
That's how I felt.
The problem is, though, that piece of plastic, if you can really get to work, will blister your hand.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking...
If you're doing all Mario Party on it. So...
I'm sorry if that caused any feedback there.
Yeah.
Because I know that touching the microphone will cause, like, feedback. Like, for example...
Yes. But anyways, but what were we, I'm trying to remember, when I first started talking about Mario 64, I remember the world seemed so big.
Yeah, exactly.
When I first played in 96, and now it's like, oh, they look very bland, because it took out like a lot of, when you're playing on an emulator, it makes everything look sharper, but then it looks,
smaller.
Yeah, like the world don't seem quite as big because there's not that sort of blur, and you're playing it on like
Here's another theory, though.
Like a monitor, so.
It may be because we're older and we've seen more of the world.
True, I think your perspective changes, like, you sort of like, oh, this is it, but I mean, we've played a lot more games since 96, like, it's almost 20 years since Mario came out, but I think at the same time, like, back then, those were, like, huge levels, and then, the thing about Mario 64 is, you go back and you retread a lot, it's kind of like Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
First game, you go back and you have, like, a new mission, or like even with GoldenEye, like GoldenEye did the same sort of thing, like same level,
but a
more
new mission.
objectives,
Yeah,
or a new
like
mission.
there was that one level where you get into the Arctic bunker for the first time, then you get back in and you get arrested, and then you go to jail, and then that's when you can break out of the bunker.
Yeah.
I actually liked GoldenEye 007.
Yeah, I still think it's one of the best games ever made. Like,
I had a lot of nostalgia towards it, and because of that, I think I remember the 007 movie with, like, completely wrong.
Because of the video game.
Yeah, because, like, just to give you an example, I
changed things up.
I thought the villain was actually the ally.
Natasha?
Not Natasha.
Natalia.
Alec.
Oh, Alec. Okay.
006.
Mm-hmm.
Because, he's like your ally and all that, and then all of a sudden this ambush happens and he gets killed in action.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, I thought you were going to say spoiler. But anyways, with Mario 64, I think even though it's like almost 20 years later, like the music, I remember like I brought out too, like Bowser, when you first hear that music, when you go into the first boss fight, and then when you first see Bowser, like it's like, wow, Bowser's huge, and like even now, maybe it's because it's being run on emulator, it doesn't seem as daunting, but I still think like what worked back then still works now. Like,
exactly.
I think if I picked up the game today, it would look better on a 64, so I think if I played on
a virtual console.
Yeah, but I mean, as long as I didn't play it on like a flat screen or something where it would look too sharp, I think part of the charm of the Mario 64 and the N64 is that blurriness that the system does. That when you play like a lot of those games, like War Gods is another great example. Like, oh my god, that game looks, you know, it looks very flat and bland on a computer running it via emulation. But if you're playing the actual game, you know, that blur and all that adds a bit of character to the game.
I think the same could be said for a lot of games.
Yeah, that's what I find. Like even GoldenEye, like you go and you see like everything's like the textures are repeated and yeah. So even though it looks in a high resolution, it loses some of the charm that they have.
That's why when Nintendo does HD remakes, they actually HD remake and not like make it newer and call it a day.
Yeah. So.
Like compare Ocarina of Time's HD remake to.
That's a good point.
I remember like there was at least one game where it didn't even bother being high definition. It was like, oh, it's a remake, but they changed literally nothing.
They just put in a higher resolution.
Yeah, like it wasn't even high definition. It was just 1080p.
Yeah, I think it's this room, but like we're just so relaxed this time, and like we're so. And it's also pretty quiet at Algonquin. I've seen a few people come and go inside the club room, so really it makes more sense to record in here tonight since
this is essentially our hyperbolic time chamber. It's a year in here, but it just passes by a day out there.
Yeah, it's pretty chill in here, and there's quite an echo that goes on in here.
Echo.
Yeah. But yeah, so what's your favorite level? Like we'll wrap this up soon because
that is the that would have to be the ice level, the first
like
ice level you get to.
Snowy Mountain, I think it's called.
Snowy Mountain.
And mine was the caverns, from what I remember.
Yeah. It was the one with the rocks and poisonous gas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that one looked cool. I remember that was. It's got like the giant blue dino in it.
Yeah,
Blue Lagoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one I thought that was the one I was like, wow, you know. And when I first saw Metal Mario, and I think those little things have really contributed to the Mario lore. Like I think it sort of shaped the way that we view 3D games in a big way. Even though we can't really appreciate as much as, you know, we did when it first came out. It was a big stepping stone, I think, for 3D games.
Yeah.
Like it's inspired like probably every 3D game since, even though it's harder to appreciate, you know. Now that
you can still appreciate it because of nostalgia. I mean, I liked it. I still loved it when I was.
I still think it's one of those games that's going to be on like the top 100 or top 200, 250. Like it's always going to be there.
Yeah, it's one of those games that, although it doesn't get better with age, it still remains a favorite because of its age. I remember someone was like, "Oh, screw Ocarina of Time because of the Z targeting." But Mario 64 doesn't have that flack.
No, and I know the Z targeting was pretty cool too at first, and then after a while, you've been playing for like, at least personally, I found it was kind of tedious. Like hours and hours later, it's like, oh my god.
And then you realize you have to wait and wait and wait and then slash.
Yeah. So, but I can't think of another platformer other than Banjo-Kazooie, which sort of. Yeah, Crash Bandicoot, I'd say was pretty big too. Around the same time as Mario, those two were both pretty big.
Yeah.
And like every other platformer you saw for like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 would emulate one of those two games. So, and it's a shame there isn't another Crash Bandicoot game. There was a rumor there was going to be one for PS4, but no.
But we are getting a new Banjo-Kazooie game. I'm sorry, Ukulele.
Ukulele. Yeah, that's a good name.
And we're also getting a new Castlevania game. I mean, Blood the Rose or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we're getting a new Mega Man. Oh, wait, no, it's Mighty Number 9.
Red Ash. Did you hear of Red Ash today?
Red Ash? No.
Mega Man Legends. It's like a Mega Man Legends clone.
Ooh.
Called Red Ash. Which I think is like, okay, now you're just taking it too far. Like, you want a Mega Man, that's great, but like...
Mega Man... No.
We want the story... Like, I view it as a continuation. Like, we want to see the end of the story of Mega Man Legends 2.
Well, we are getting the end of a story, though.
Yeah, but it's not the same. Like, it's like, oh, we want to know what happened to Mario after Mario. I don't know, what's a good example? Like, say Lost Levels had.
I was talking about
some
Shenmue,
of
but
the
still.
ending. Well, yeah, that's an even better example. You know, say that we want to see the last part of Shenmue, and then it's like, oh, you don't get Shenmue 3, but you can have Duke Nukem Forever. It's like, it's not quite the same.
Yeah.
It's like someone's serving the wrong meal. Like, I asked for an apple, someone gives me an orange. It's like, woohoo, orange!
Or it's like
You
they
get the
give you
wrong
the
game.
conclusion, but it's so rushed that it doesn't feel like it's full closure.
And
Like,
Xenogears was like that. They spent so much time on perfecting the game that they had to rush the last bit, so they played it in like videos for the last disc instead of having you play. You had to watch it happen because they ran out of time in development. So.
yeah.
Anyways.
I think we should wrap it up.
Yeah,
here.
it's been a while. So anyways, Mario 64, a lot of fun.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
If we're gonna
Classic.
go with like the critics of yesteryear, if we're
Yeah.
gonna go totally nostalgic,
Yes.
thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. Alright, guys.
Maybe 4 thumbs up. I don't know how they go.
2 thumbs up and a microphone.
Yeah. All right.
Alright.
Take
care,
care,
guys.
gamers.
See you next week.
Play more games.
Play more games.
Play more games. Okay.
Alright. Bye.
Bye bye.